nice.
Long before 1975, a YouTuber is on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends, but Long Boys Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975. This is a video response to Infected Flinch. Dave, awesome bloke, really cool bloke with an Epic Beans channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the doohickey down below, and I'll put a link to the video I'm responding to down there as well. And I really do recommend you go and check him out, because seriously, he's a slice of fried gold. He has a competition video and he asked, what are the games that make you want to cry and why? And I want to put a little bit of a twist on it, because this game still is a point of contention for me. And yeah, so it's kind of games back in the day that made me want to cry and why. And more than any other game, it's quite simple. That game is Back to the Future on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Now, before you say, oh, here we go, Dave, you know, bigging up Back to the Future again. Back to the Future is a very important movie for me, but basically it's been a very important and my favourite movie from day one. I walked into that cinema and I walked out blown away, and nothing's ever changed. So you have to understand that even though I was like 9, pushing 10, when this game got released, and $9.99 when you're a 9-year-old is not cheap for a game, you know, it made me want to cry so bad. Like when I played it, I just went, what the fuck is this? Even as a 9-year-old, I went, what the fuck is this? This isn't Back to the Future. How do you fuck this up this royally? Where's my skateboard section? Where's my fighting a bully section? Where's my driving a DeLorean section? Where is my anything relevant to the movie section? How Old Man Peabody could have shot at me for destroying his pines and it would have been better an experience or game than this train wreck. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Right, so you're thinking, that doesn't look too bad. Oh look, there's Doc on the left, there's Marty on the right. The icons are at the top of the screen. It's got some music, it's got some Spectrum music, you know, and it actually sounds pretty good. And if I let it run long enough, you know, you will actually, you know, it will do a fairly decent rendition of Johnny Be Good, you know, in limited 48K sound. You've got a nice picture, well, nice-ish picture of my bottom left. Right, let's get into it. Start the game 1. Right. There's no sound other than the walking noise. There's a bunch of locations. The 4 main characters, that's George, Lorraine, Biff and me, they will flash in different colours indicating who they are. You kind of recognise who they are at some point, badly. Bottom left hand is a picture of me, which represents my health. Bottom right hand is a picture of my family as they're slowly being erased from time. Now, oh, that's my mum, and that's Biff, and he's going to try and twat me because he's quite nice like that. I've got punch. I look, well, I can say I look like a beetle, but the beetles are cool, and I'm poor. Look, oh, leave me alone, Mum. That's something you should never have to say in a video game. Now, these are all locations. Right, let's go into the hall. Oh, now, hold up and fire. And now I've got an icon or something that I can use to somehow interact or change time or history. Oh, the fact that my mum is fucking, oh, this is horrible. Hitting on me is why my health is going. Right, hang on. There we go. Skateboard, yeah. How'd you like them apples? How do you make that part of the game so shit? Right, so I want to get off that. I need to find George. I'm assuming George is in school. There, yeah, of course you're in school. Right, come on. Yeah, there were a few more minutes of that, and I even somehow kind of achieved some of the objective of the game, but then I thought, fuck me, why am I still playing this? Yeah, everything about that was just utterly wrong. You got to remember, as I said, I love Back to the Future. I bought the game. You had the brilliant movie, you know, poster cover on the front with Marty, the streaks of fire, and the double perspective DeLorean, and on the back of the case you had Commodore 64 screenshots, which wasn't uncommon on the Spectrum game back then. While the Commodore looked better, it suffered from all the same problems that the Spectrum one does. Alright, it had better graphics and it had music in game, but Graphically, it's shit. It's absolutely shit, and the sound is terrible, and the controls are really, really limited. But even as a kid, I knew that 1985 could not be blamed for why it was poor. The Spectrum had been out for 3 years at this point. Excuse me, Wendy Pops. And there've been some absolutely fantastic games pushing the hardware, incredibly, incredibly playable games. So that was no reason for it being shit. The biggest problem with it was, why did they go this route? Why did they do what they did? They kind of thought, it'll be a cheap cash and we'll make loads of money off this, because even from day one, Back to the Future, it was a given that it was going to be huge. Everyone knew there was a special buzz about this movie. So cobbling this shite together, it was unintuitive. It was this, using the icons, only 5 locations, shit graphics, shit sound, clunky controls, and basically trying to drive Lorraine and George together while avoiding Biff punching him in the face. That was it. The skateboard served no perspective, served no purpose whatsoever in it. It was bollocks, and even as a 9-year-old I knew it was bollocks, and I actually completed it 3 times. Why I forced myself through this train wreck, I don't know. I think I felt I owed the movie, but each time I never really, and this is the main complaint from everyone about this game, Commodore, Spectrum people, together, was never really knew how I did it. Was it the guitar, going to a different location? Because all George wants to do is fuck off the Doc Browns. All your mum does is stalk you, depleting your health, because obviously your left side is you. When that depletes, you take another chunk out of the picture on the right, which is your family in the the timeline. Although if you replenish, then you replenish one. Either way, it's not fun, it's a chore. It takes forever. The DeLorean is quite cool in it. I don't know why I'm standing up for one bit of it, but it's shit. They're like, kudos for trying something new. This kind of manipulating the social aspect of characters with, devices. That's really cool. No, it's not. Where's my fucking skateboarding game? Where's my fucking car driving game? Where's my fucking fighting game? That's what Back to the Future games should have been back then. This game back then just... Not just because the movie blew me away, but I just went, what the fuck is this train wreck? How did you get this so wrong? So utterly, utterly wrong. I mean... A game based upon the movie, even then with the limitations of the Spectrum, was basically a license to print money, and yet they somehow managed to train wreck it up this bad. Anyway, sorry, this was a really incoherent, random, waffle response to Dave, Infected Flinch. Once again, link in the doohickey down below. But games that made me want to cry. Games that still make me want to cry. Back to the Future on the ZX Spectrum. Whoever made this, if you're watching this, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. I'm never going to play that again.